Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to Team Eagle's Monday night Zoom chat. As you know, we are Mick and Jenny Daly, National Marketing Directors in your support line, also members of the prestigious 50 Club, heading towards that elusive 75. We'll get there. So you can tell by the accent, if you haven't heard from us before, that we are originally from England, but we have lived in this wonderful country for the last 30 years now. We landed in Dallas, Texas, back in 1987. That's where we started our Juice Plus business, and we still have a lot of business in the Dallas area today. But after 11 years there, during which time we met my good friend Rachel Harris, who you're going to hear from in a moment. But we then traveled the country for 4 years in a beautiful fifth wheel RV. Our business doubled in those 4 years. Our income doubled. It was a wonderful time in our lives. That was PK, right? What did they say? PG, pre-grandchildren. So we had the freedom to travel. These days, we live in the beautiful mountains of Colorado, very close to all 7 of our grandchildren. And I tell you, life is good. It's the Juice Plus product has been wonderful for us, and the business has also been extremely wonderful. Not only the income, but also the freedom that comes with this type of business. And as I say, we love what we do. We're still very passionate about Juice Plus, but life is really, really good. So we're very excited this evening to hear from a very special team member of ours. But first of all, Mick, would you like to talk a little bit about the contest?
Will do. So we are, just over 2 weeks into this first month of our Trek to Tampa contest. Our contest runs from conference to conference. So in this case, from April through September, and the results to date for April you see here. It is so tight that I can almost guarantee we'll see dramatic changes in the next couple of weeks. But let me back up a little bit and show you something else. One of the features of our contest is that the top 10 leaderboard each month, at the end of each month, the person at the top of the leaderboard in first place gets 10 entries in the random drawing that we make on the Thursday night at conference for 5 $100 cash prizes. And so, as you can see here, in October, Janet Taylor finished top of the leaderboard in first place. So Janet, for the month of October, got 10 entries in the contest. And the 10th place in the contest was shared by Linda Miller and Alex Leach, who each got 2 entries in the random drawing, and so on. So if you look across to the right here, Nicole Helmstadler, not for the first time, heads the list. So Nicole, in that random drawing, will have 43 entries. Delise Feigen will have 32. And then quite a number of you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So those of you who will be at our Phoenix conference next week, oh my goodness, it is next week, staggering, you will have a chance. But you have to be there, not just there at contest. No, yes, you do. You have to be there at contests. You don't have to be there for the drawing. We're being very generous. But this list shows those in bold who I am pretty sure are going to be at conference. Those who are not bold, I don't think you're going to be. So between now and this time next week, I hope we'll have a complete and final list of who's going to be there, because it's going to be a lot of fun. Jenny?
Yes, it is indeed. I'm excited. Mick and I are going in a little bit earlier, go and enjoy some of the warm weather in Arizona. And then we have the 39 Club retreat at the beautiful Camelback Resort. It's always a special time. And then we look forward to seeing all of you on the Thursday at the Convention Center in Phoenix. All right, Rachel, seeing as Dr. Brown is a member of your team, how would you like to introduce her this evening?
I would love to introduce Dr. Amy. I look back to July 2002, and that was when Dr. Amy Brown signed her distributor out to join our team. And back then she was way down underneath me, several layers. But as everybody, as you know, everybody who is in your team, it all counts. And a few months later, I made National Marketing Director, and I'm sure that Dr. Amy played a part in that. So it's wonderful and exciting, as everybody knows, to have a doctor in your business. And Amy is an amazing doctor. She's kind and loving, and she couldn't be a sweeter, nicer person to have for your chiropractic care. And I know she has many loyal patients who've been with her for years and years and years. But more than being a great doctor, Dr. Amy is an amazing human being. She is the most loving mother I've ever witnessed. She is a wonderful mother to children of lots of different ages, and I think a few of you saw her youngest when she set up tonight. But I get the privilege of staying in Dr. Amy's house at least once a year, and always have just the best time. And Dr. Amy, I'm just so proud now that you are actually frontline to me, which I really enjoy. You're a very committed Juice Plus distributor. I love the fact that you share from your heart every time I hear you speaking to anybody. And of course, we are celebrating tonight and just recently your marriage to Earl Brown. And yay! Yeah, congratulations from all of us. Everybody else is muted, but they're all extremely happy for you. You look so happy, Dr. Amy, and we are thrilled that you would be willing to come on tonight and share some of your expertise about what you do in this business. So thank you for being with us tonight.
You're welcome. All right, you ready?
We are.
You can hear me?
Yes.
So for anyone who was on at the beginning, you know that I'm not technically savvy. I'm used to speaking. I can speak in front of however many people, but when you ask me to do it with a computer and technology, I get a little nervous, so forgive me. But we were talking about how to approach healthcare professionals, and one of the first things I just want to let y'all know is we're still people. A lot of times when you think of talking to a doctor, everybody thinks they have to do it differently, or I don't know, some kind of way that we're different people, but we put our clothes on the same way. Those curtains back there may open at any time with screaming kids coming in. My dog is just right over there. So we're people just like everybody else. So that's the first thing I just wanted to say is just we are people. You can approach us. But I wrote down some key points on how to approach, because I do think the approach is differently depending on what your relationship with the doctor is. And as y'all know, if you've already been in the company for a while, our company is very relationship oriented. And I think it still needs to stay that way when it's a doctor. So I think your best bet is if you have a personal relationship with the doctor, just present it the same way you would with your friend or anyone else, because it's a personal relationship with them. So sharing your testimony in any way that you would with any other person. If your relationship with that doctor is a professional relationship, then that changes a little bit, because obviously you're not meeting just with the kids or out to eat or at church or however you know that doctor. If it's a professional relationship, my recommendation would be make that first contact or the first time you mention Juice Plus to them at one of your appointments, because then it's still personal. You're still making it about you. Let them know, because as their patient, they should know what you're taking and what you're doing. So you can still present it the same way. Just, hey, doc, I've been taking this product for X amount of years if you've been on it, and let them know the benefits that you're getting or why what the value was that you saw in it, and see what they say from there. I mean, obviously, depending on what type of doctor it is and how much time they give you, you may not be able to go into a long presentation with them, but at least you're dropping the seed. If it's something that you're just starting, anybody new on the product or with the business, then you can use the line, I've just found out about this product. This is what I liked about it. I would love it if you would check it out and let me know what you think about it, since you are my doctor. I'm giving you a little insight there. When you put that you are my doctor, they're really obligated to check out what you're doing and what you're on. So when you have a patient-doctor relationship, you really do have a good in with them. They should be checking out what you're doing and what you're putting in your body. So, but as far as presenting it, it's still the same way. It's fruits and vegetables. It's something we all need. Almost nobody gets enough of it. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a lawyer, or what your profession is. We're still people. So that's as far as getting in the door that way. If you have a personal relationship or a doctor-patient relationship, that's when I would bring it up. It is a little different when you don't have a relationship. I've had people ask me, they just think doctors are a good person or group to go target. That's a cold call. And so I'll let you know my personal story. That's how I was first introduced to Juice Plus, and it sat on my desk for a year. My first introduction to Juice Plus was a cold call, which meant somebody walked into my office that I had no relationship with, tried to get through my front staff, which how your doctor practices, that's another way of how to get in or not. Doctors are busy. You're not going to just walk in the front door without an appointment and get to go talk to them. You're going to have to get through their front staff. So that is another way. If you know someone that works for a doctor, you can talk to them. And again, the same thing. If you have a personal relationship, just bring it up the same way you would with anybody else. And they, when they find value, they may be able to bring it up to the doctor, or at least get you in the door and they have a conversation with the doctor. When I had a full staff, they used to call my front desk girl, a bulldog, because she wouldn't let anyone get to me. I mean, her job was to protect me so I could see my patients and get out the office when I need to get to my kids or run my errands. So nothing got to me unless it went through my front desk person. So making friends with the front desk person is a good thing to do. But so anyway, my first time, somebody brought the information. They said, I've got some information on this product that I know the doctor's going to love because she's into health and nutrition. So I just want to leave this information for her to look at. Well, that got stuck in a pile with all my other stuff that's supposed to be the latest, greatest product that's just going to fly off my shelf or all my patients are going to love. And I'm going to look at that later. Well, later didn't happen because I really don't have the time to look at, there's an ungodly amount of nutrition information out there, and we get faxes all the time with stuff. We get junk mail. I call it junk mail. So that's, just know that the doctors will consider that stuff junk when it's not delivered with a purpose. So your intent behind, if you're just wanting to throw that piece of paper or that video without explaining anything to them or having a relationship, a lot of times it just sits in a pile and we don't get to it. So about a year later, I got introduced again, and it was when I had a personal relationship with a patient. It was actually 2 or 3 different patients kept telling me, I'm on this product. I think you should look at it. I think, I like it. They told me, I really like it. It sounds like everything you tell us to do. It's fruits and vegetables. It's all natural. I give them their list of what they need to look for, how to read a label. There's nothing artificial in it. So my patients are the ones that actually sold me on it and got me to take a look at it. So I said, okay, send your person or whoever. None of them were reps. They were just customers. So I finally told them when they told me it was all natural, because my criteria, I won't even look at a product if there's unnatural ingredients in it. And I think it was Ann Mormon who came and talked to me. And what actually got me was they had researched, because that was the difference between all these other brochures and flyers that were still sitting on my desk that I'm going to look at later in my free time. When she showed me that just separated that pile from Juice Plus, because not many products have the research. So from a doctor standpoint, that is something, if whether you know the doctor or not, I would have that research available. How many do we have now? Who's still or unmuted? Is it 33 or
38?
38? I think there was just a handful back then, but it was enough to convince me, like, wait, they have research? Because there was only one other company that I was doing business with at the time that had any research. Everything else was borrowed research, which is basically an apple is good. We put an apple in our product, therefore our product's good, and voila, we're supposed to believe in it. But the fact that Juice Plus had real research done on Juice Plus was what got their foot in the door with me, that I took a look at it when they said there's research. So for doctors, I mean, we're kind of a prove it to me kind of profession. So the research, but then the mama in me saw the convenience. I had, at that time, back in 2002, I only had 2 children. Now together with his, hers, and ours, we have 7 altogether. So, but even with just 2 children, you know, feeding them healthy is important to me. So the part that just made sense as a mom is, wow, you're telling me there's 20-something fruits and vegetables in this product, and that if I put this in me and my child, they're going to get that much every day. That just was a no-brainer to me as a person. And then as a doctor still, that was like, wow, if I can get 20 to 30 different fruits and vegetables in my patients every day, because I'm a chiropractor, but I also do holistic lifestyle coaching. And that's one of the biggest challenges is to get enough nutrition in somebody soon enough for them to feel a difference so they stay on this health, track. So for me, right away when I heard that, it made sense for the business, and as a mom, just to get I wanted my family on it and my patients. Let me see if any other points that I wanted to make. The other thing, for me at the time, I did do a lot of educating with my patients, but I know with some other doctors that puts them off with adding a product in their office if they don't already talk about products or carry it. I've had myself, they say this, I don't have time for that. They have a busy practice, and they barely have time to meet with their patients and do what they're doing and take care of their staff. So the wellness coordinator, if y'all don't know about that, that is something before you approach a doctor, I would definitely make sure that you understand that program that the company offers. Decide for yourself if that's something you're willing to do. If you're wanting to sign a doctor up, are you willing to be their wellness coordinator and offer those services? Or see if anyone in your downline is interested in doing that, and know that you have that set up for them for if they throw that objection, like, oh, I love the product, the business is great, but I just don't have the time. Great. Our company has this wellness coordinator that we can set you up with, and then you already have it. You already have an answer to that, because that's another one that I've seen a lot with doctors, that they don't mind telling their patients about the product, but as far as getting them to be a rep and actively recommend it, they feel like they don't have the time. And so, letting them know how much time it actually takes is just a quick conversation and getting them signed up. In my office, when I had a big staff, I just did the talking. I mean, it was just, this is one of the main supplements. It's a foundational supplement that I recommend to all my patients. So that's just the basics. If they're going to be on one thing, Juice Plus is the one thing. There may be other things I add depending on what their issues are, but for me, in the way I practice, Juice Plus is the first thing that they get on, because it just covers so many bases. I mean, what else can you get? Vitamins, minerals, enzymes, coenzymes, phytonutrients in that amount in one product. I haven't found it yet. And it's not because I don't keep getting lots of stuff sent to me and brought to me. And so that's something in confidence I can let people know too, as a doctor, that I haven't found another product yet that has as much research as this company. There's so many other doctors already, using this in their practice. That was the other point I'm seeing down here. Depending on what type of doctor. bring information. Like if you go and talk to a dentist, we've got information about dental health. If you go and talk to a dermatologist. So that's another thing. Doctors like to know that their colleagues in the same profession are already using it. And it kind of, for lack of a better way, guilts them into like, oh, well, if Dr. So-and-so is recommending this, I might ought to look into it. So that's another advantage if you know ahead of time, especially if you're cold calling doctors or just going to offices. Look, whether you're looking in the phone book and seeing doctors, see what type of doctors they are and have the type of material and a quick video or YouTube video or something that you can show them of a doctor that's already in their profession. Because I look at being in the holistic world and chiropractic, I give a lot more credence to a doctor's opinion that's in that field than a medical doctor that's not into nutrition or holistic health at all. Again, I can't speak from a dentist or a medical doctor, but I would think a dentist would look a lot more at the, the videos and the information on the dental research than they would some of the other things in another field. So, any questions? I'm not sure if that gave y'all enough information.
That is so super helpful, Amy. I would love to know if you have a favorite piece of research and how you might use that with your patients, or if there's one that you just might not be your favorite, but that you use most if you think other people understand it.
That is a hard one for me because I am like an information junkie and I love them all. And I'm sure Rachel coming and doing classes with me, that's my biggest thing. What do we show them? I want to put out so much information. I love all the information in the brochures the company has. I love all the videos, and I would like hog tie people and just make them have a whole weekend with us and watch all of them if we can. I'm probably not the best one to ask about a favorite. I really think it depends on that relationship with that person and knowing that person, and then us knowing what's available to us and then picking the best video that we think will reach that person, because what reached me or what reached my friend may not reach someone else. I mean, personally, the video that they showed me way back when was Dr. Du Bois. What was it? Something about in 15 minutes?
Yeah.
The whole truth.
Yeah, 15 minutes. The whole truth in 15 minutes.
Yes. I loved, and that's an old one. I don't even know if they still have that one out. But for me, it made sense when they played the instruments and everything was out of balance and all out of tune. It's like, it's noise and not music. And then they had it all work together. I love using that example with my patient because as a holistic lifestyle coach, a lot of people come into me and they have a list this long of all the things they're already taking. They're already taking a bunch of vitamins and minerals and herbs, and they may be taking drugs and things too, but they're trying to piece and part all this together. And, they're coming to me and they're thinking I'm going to give them another list even longer of what to do. And so they love it when I'm able to condense all of that and say, you don't need this, you don't need that, not that you don't need it, but I'm going to be able to get you all that in your body with Juice Plus, and it's going to work synergistically and the way nature and God intended. Because instead of just giving you vitamin C or just giving you this one B vitamin, you're going to get all of the complex of that and everything nature meant for it to work together. So explaining that synergy and that music when everything comes together and works together, it made sense to me, and I use that example a lot with my patients. I'm trying to think. Another thing that we have now with the Shred, I think that's another good marketing tool with doctors, because right now that's just a big thing. Everybody's trying to either detox or lose weight or jumpstart their health. I see a lot of doctors in my area starting to kind of offer some sort of product or something to help with that. And I think to approach doctors and let them know that we already have this program. They can just plug in. Again, it's nothing that they have to go and get another degree in or go to a weekend seminar. The Juice Plus company already has the website. It's just a matter of getting people plugged in, on the right products and on the Facebook groups. and, you know, watching the videos. It's just one more thing that they've got to offer the patient. So even inviting a doctor to join a shred might be a way, again, personally, asking them to do it personally. I don't, again, this is just me personally. I don't recommend things to my patients unless I have done it or I'm willing to do it myself or would have my husband do it. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to tell you real products, but, you know, if it's something I would be willing to put my dad on or my husband, you know, so I think for most doctors, at least holistic doctors or health professionals in that realm, they want to see it work for themselves. And so for me, the shred has been really good, you know, talking with my patients and getting them on a whole program where it's more than, with Juice Plus, we have more than just a product to offer them. We really have a whole community that they can get behind with the Facebook groups that Nick is always posting all the little things on a regular basis for getting health information. So I think that sets us out apart. Again, from a business standpoint, what we have to offer is that whole program and the information and the education that goes with it. It's not just a product that they put on their shelf and they get no support whatsoever. So that's another point I would bring up if you get to that point with a doctor where you get to talk about the business, to let them know about the support that we have, that they're not doing this alone.
Wow, yeah, that's really, really powerful. I don't know if Jenny wants to wrap up, but that is just powerful information, Dr. Amy, that all of us can use in thinking about the doctors in our life.
Absolutely, and Dr. Amy, just thank you so much for having such a huge heart for everyone in your life, not only your patients, but your family and your friends as well. And I'm sure that everybody's enjoyed hearing from you this evening. I think we've probably got time for a couple of questions. If anybody would like to ask Dr. Amy anything, not specific condition questions, you know, not disease specific, but anything at all, if you'd like her to elaborate a little bit more on her approach. You'll have to unmute yourself if you have a question. Because Nick wants to unmute everybody. Happy to see some new faces this evening. Shannon, welcome.
Oh, you want to unmute?
Okay. All right. Well, I
have a question.
Yes.
This is Anna. But my question is more as a fellow practitioner, how do you approach all of your patients and offer them Juice Plus? Or is it at a certain point? I mean, do you from the get-go or at around after several visits, or how do you begin that conversation with your patients?
Okay. I bring it up the very first visit just because I think it's so foundational. We have to eat every day when we need food. So this is, for me and the way I practice, this is the one thing that they do get to bring home. They can't bring me home. I can't adjust them every day. I can't be there to tell them you should put that Diet Coke down, you should drink more water. But if I can get them started on Juice Plus, it's a way that they can start getting nutrition in their body every day. So on my intake form, that's the paperwork you fill out for your doctor. I call it intake form. So they're filling out all the information about their history, about what they've been through, and I ask them to list for me every medication they're on and any natural supplement, or whether it be prescribed, over the counter, or health food item. So I already know what they're already taking. I also ask in my form, how many fruits and vegetables do you eat per day? So I'm already asking them, do you get 5 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables a day? How much water do you drink? So it lets me know where they're at, and it also starts educating them. Wow, 5 to 10 vegetables a day? You know, hardly anybody circles that. You know, and then I ask if somebody does say that they get that much. I'm like, tell me what you eat a day. And how much? Because if they tell me it's a hamburger with a slice of lettuce, pickle, and a tomato, you can't count that as 3 vegetables for the day. So that opens up the conversation for me as a doctor to talk about that nutrition. And then, you know, after I do my exam and see what's going on with them, I let them know, okay, here are my recommendations. And I give them my recommendations for chiropractic care. And for the lifestyle part, I let them know, look, this product I recommend is a foundation of health for you. It's called Juice Plus. It's fruits, vegetables, and berries that they've juice dried and put into a capsule or soft chewable. Would you prefer the chewable or the capsule? What would be easier for you to take? I just offer, I mean, they're coming to me and asking me what they need to do to be healthy. This is the foundation. This is the one thing that I assign them basically to do. I also have, you know, I let them know that their health is their responsibility. They're coming to me for help, but they have to go home and live it. So they have to drink the water. They have to exercise and stretch and get enough sleep, and which is why I like to shred so much. It's really helping me. I can just show them those videos, and it kind of teaches them all those little lifestyle things. But the nutrition part, I just present it as this is what I'm recommending for you to do, and ask them which one would they like. I don't ask them if they want to do it or not. I ask them which one they like, because then they have to tell me if they would prefer capsules or chewables. And if they want, they can say, well, I'm not ready to take that right now. And then I'll ask them, is it a financial reason, or, you know, just to try to figure out if they're not wanting to do this, what their why is. And,
Right.
Because
and do you usually start them up on the orchard and the vineyard, or do you start them on the trio?
I offer
the orchard and the garden.
I offer everything up
Okay.
front and then back down from there. If they tell me there's a financial issue, then we start taking off, you know, whatever. If they can't be on all the product, then I'll tell them, you know, well, what can you afford per month? I like the price sheet that gives us the per day cost.
Yeah.
And my patients that have gotten to know me tell me they really like that, because it's eye-opening to see, you know, what, for $1.50 or $2.10. Because if they do tell me it's a cost issue, I ask them, because I just had them fill out what they eat per day. If they do junk food, how many times a day or a week. And so when they tell me they can't afford it, then I ask, well, are you willing to trade anything? Because you're paying me for my time right now to tell you how to be healthy. But you're telling me you can't afford this. But I see here that you're buying chips and ice cream and a Coke. You know, you're drinking 3 Cokes a day. How much does that cost you? Are you willing to trade the money for that for your Juice Plus? Because this is only going to be, you know, at the basic $1.50 a day if you just do fruits and vegetables. For $2.10 a day, we can get you the fruits, the vegetables, and vineyard, and just keep, you know, showing them if you want the smoothie mix, if you want a healthier breakfast or snack, and just show them what they can get.
Okay.
Versus what they're already paying for something that's not bringing them health. And I just remind them that you're coming to me because you said you want to be healthier, but, you know, not to get combative. Right. I just keep reminding them what they want, because I ask them on my paperwork, what are you looking for? What are the results you're looking for? And I mean, I'm a doctor, and of course they're saying I want to be better, I want to be healthy, I want to have less aches or pains. And so I just try to, at whatever angle, you're telling me you don't like all this inflammation, and, you know, this is shown, and that's where the research comes in. This is shown to decrease inflammation, you know, or you're telling me, so we just go from there. But I present it all to them, and then I back off and get them back.
And then I have some patients that come in and they show me half a dozen different supplements that they're taking. So when we look at cost and say, okay, if you weren't buying this.
Exactly.
So, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I remember one customer, she's been a customer of ours for many, many years. And when she first started on Juice Plus, she said she was taking so many medications, one of which or 2 of which were stress related. And she eventually got off all the other stuff and just got on Juice Plus. And she said, just that alone has removed the stress in my life, because I don't have to take all these other supplements. So that's good. Oh, Amy, I love what you've said there, you know, and I think a lot of what you said, some of us can apply even though we're not doctors, you know, but when we are presenting Juice Plus to people, find out what it is they're looking for, you know, and is it a financial challenge? If so, back off. Present the trio first, but if they both at the idea of $75 a month, say, well, we can start you off on the orchard and garden first, and we'll add the berries later. You know, we can get it free for your children as well.
Right.
So there are lots of things. Another thing I loved about what you said is that you don't give them a yes/no question. You give them an either/or. It's not a question of, you know, well, are you going to take this or not? It's which would you prefer, the capsules or the soft chews? I love that. It's something we learned many years ago. Gives them an either or choice. All right. Well, I think we are out of time. Dr. Amy, thank you so much. I know you're very, very busy with your professional life and your family life. But we very much appreciate your giving up this time this evening to join us on the call. Thank you so much to everybody else as well. Now, we will not be having a call next Monday evening. It's conference week. There's a lot of other stuff going on, but we will be back 2 weeks from tonight. And be sure to join us that evening. If you've been at conference, we'd love to hear from you with some of your takeaways, your excitement. And if you didn't manage to join us in Phoenix, again, you need to be on our call because you need to hear all about the wonderful things that you missed.
Jenny,
So, yes.
is that call the Monday after conference? Is that going to be at 6 or 6:30?
Ah, thank you, Nicole. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, we're going to go half an hour earlier after conference. So in Arizona, it will be 6 o'clock. Mountain Time, 7. Dallas, Central Time, 8. Yes, 30 minutes earlier than we're currently doing. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for joining us. Have a wonderful week. And we'll see many of you in Phoenix in about 10 days' time.
Thanks
Good night.
again, Dr. Amy.
Thank you.
Awesome job.
Thank
God bless
you.
everybody.
Thanks, Dr. Amy.